Hi guys, it's Misty from the Book Rat, and this month, because it is the 30-day book binge and I'm thinking about reading all the things, I thought I would go ahead and do a July TBR. So it's been a few months since I've done one, partly because I'm just kind of reading whatever I want, and also because I was intending to do this kind of weird TBR choosing thing that I just haven't had a chance to do, and so I had been putting it off. I might have done a May TBR. I think I did a last minute one. Regardless, I've gone ahead and pulled some books from my review stack and my shelves of things that I think I might want to read this month. Who knows what I'll actually read and how much reading I'll get done. The goal is to read a ton because it's the 30-day book binge, but at the same time I'm going to be working on Austen in August prep, and that eats up a lot of time, so we're gonna see. But my stack of potentials for the month of July are Delilah Dirk and the Pillars of Hercules by Toni Cliff. I'll absolutely be reading this. It's a graphic novel, so obviously it's not a huge time commitment, and I adore the series. Also, it's set in Regency time, so it kind of feels right. It feels like the right mood setter for Austen in August, even though it's so totally different, and yet not. Possibly Imposters by Scott Westerfeld. This one is a spin-off to the Ugly series, which I really like, so I feel like it will draw me in and make me want to read it, which is good when you're doing a reading challenge. Also, it comes out in sort of early to mid-September, and I know I probably won't have a chance to read it in August, and if I wait until September it's going to be really crammed to get my thoughts out before the review. Not that I have to, but should I decide I want to, it might be better to have it read earlier rather than later, or at least started. So it's in the pile, and I am curious about it, so there's a good chance. I'm gonna dive into it this month. Speaking of good chances, I probably shouldn't be reading this month. I definitely can put it off. It doesn't come out until like mid to late October. But The Boneless Mercies, though, I have been trying so hard to keep my hands off of this since it showed up, because I was in the middle of a million other things and had things that came out sooner that I probably should be devoting attention to, but like one eye kept wandering to it, like, read me. Though I might be able to exercise some restraint and not pick this up quite yet, I also might not be able to. I'll definitely be looking through Star Talk by Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm sorry if this feels like you're just rewatching my June TBR, but obviously a lot of the things that came in June I'm going to get my greedy little hands into in July, and among them is Star Talk. This is, you know, it's like a coffee table book, so I don't think I'm going to read it cover to cover necessarily, but just give it a browse, see what I feel about it. And that will be a great one for those nights when I'm tired, I don't want to read, but I need to read for the challenge, so I can just read a little bit and feel like it's self-contained reading, because it'll just be about a topic. So that will be a good one to have on hand, I think. Speaking of Austen in August, I will definitely be having some Austen reads this month. I'm not entirely sure what. I'm thinking that one of them will be Longbourn by Joe Baker, because this is currently winning the group read-along poll. Everyone seems to want to read this, and I've been wanting to read it too. I did try to read it a little bit last year, and it didn't immediately grip me, so I ended up putting it down in favor of something that I knew would grip me. So hopefully this time around I'll just fall right into it, because I think I'm going to have to read it either way. In addition to that, definitely some more Austen things, but I kind of don't know what. I have a lot on my shelves, I have a lot in my Kindle, and I might just pick, just randomly, see what's calling me, and I have absolutely no idea which direction I'm going to go with that, other than I have been rereading some favorites and some things by authors that I like Abigail Reynolds, that I had read a while back and just wanted to enjoy something for a little while. So I know that's time I should have been devoting to reading new things to review for Austen in August. I might end up reading more rereads just because it gets me pumped, you know? Like, I'm ready for this Austen-ness. I don't know. If you have suggestions, let me know. I will definitely keep listening to When Dimple Met Rishi on audiobook. That was one of the audiobook sync choices in June, and I'm currently listening to it and liking it. In addition to that, I'm not sure which one I'm going to read next, but there have been a bunch of them, so I'll probably listen to at least one other audiobook. Who knows which. I kind of gave up on Love and First Sight for now. I might go back to it eventually, but kind of just wasn't doing it for me. And then I also keep looking at a number of books behind me on these shelves and thinking, I want to read you, and also you, and probably you. I might just go to my shelves and randomly pick some things. Like, as I mentioned in my Memorable Characters video, Starcrossed has been calling my name quite a bit lately. I think I want to reread it. I've also been thinking about this series by Holly Black lately and thinking that I should probably continue it, so maybe that. Part of me is wanting something witchy like Balefire or one of the sweep books or something like that, and like urban fantasy in general I've really been craving. Also Across the Great Barrier. I don't know, just a lot of things are just yelling at me lately saying you need to read me right now, and I want to. And so I'm kind of all over the place. I really need to get back to the Mercy Thompson books. Really need to get back to those. I don't know guys. Something in this mess of things that are everywhere. So it's a large pile. It's an expansive pile. I'm definitely not going to get through all of these in July. Although I said that in April for the April 30-day book binge and read everything in my pile and then some. I think I read almost double what I pulled out. So who knows? Maybe I'll have an insanely good month of reading in July, but this is options to get my month kind of jump started so I'm ready for the binge and I can hit the ground running without having to dither over what I'm going to read. I hope you guys will join me for the 30-day book binge. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll leave a link to that video and the info about it below. It's cool. No press. Free-ish. Check it out. Let me know what you think of the books in my TBR, and if you would be like, yes, read that one, let me know that too. If you want to have reviews or impressions of any of them, I'd be curious to hear. And let me know what some of the highlights are of your July TBR. If you're a book picker. If you're not, what are you feeling for this month? If you want to be involved in Austen in August, I will leave links to that as well. I can still use some fresh faces or old faces. You're welcome back. But as for my TBR, this is what it is. For now. Apt to change, we'll see, but I'm ready to get reading. So that is all for this video. Thank you guys for joining me, and as always, until next time, happy reading.